guys, so this video is particularly for those people that do not know or have any idea when it comes to editing videos, or for those that want to actually edit their very first YouTube video. This video is for you. If you are on this table and you've not watched this video, I suggest that you go watch it first before coming to watch this one, because I mean, you need to know how to actually make a video to be able to know how to edit it, right? So you need to watch that video first before coming back to watch this one. But for the rest of us, let's get started. Hi, my name is Eva Anthony, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you some tips that I've learned in my short time of editing videos that might help you when it comes to your first YouTube video. So if you're interested and you want to know what those tips are, you might want to watch this video till the end. The very first tip when it comes to this is your editing software. In my opinion, you could start out using iMovie or you could start out using KineMaster. Now these two apps are available for free on both Play Store and App Store, so you can actually use any of these two, and they are really good. Now if you want a tutorial on KineMaster, I already have one on my channel. I'm just going to be linking it up here just so that you can go check it out and see how to use KineMaster. I mean, the interface for KineMaster is really simple. It's easy to use, it's easy to understand. Same with iMovie, so you can just pick any of those and use to start editing your videos. You can use any of those before moving ahead to start using more advanced editing softwares like Filmora and Final Cut Pro, amongst others. All of these softwares that I just mentioned aren't the only ones that are available out there. They aren't the only ones that are really great. There are others. I'm just mentioning these because these are the ones that I have actually used. All I'm saying is whichever you find comfortable using, you should go ahead and use it while you try to get more accustomed to other softwares. I mean, there are 1,000,001 beautiful, great, amazing editing softwares that are out there. What I'm trying to say in essence is, do not stress yourself thinking about one particular or thinking about the particular editing software that you have to use to edit your videos. I mean, just start out with anything and you move from there, right? So don't really stress about it and don't dwell on it. Another tip that I'm going to be mentioning here is your audio. Now this should be the thing that should concern you the most when it comes to editing your very first YouTube video. Your audio has to be on point. Your audio has to be in check. Remember that your input is half as good as your output. What I mean here is, when it comes to your audio, you really want to make sure that the microphone that you're using is actually a good one. Now if you do not have an external if you do not have an external microphone, that is fine. I mean, this is your very first video. You can actually use your internal microphone of probably your phone or your camera or whatever it is that you're using to make your videos. Make sure that your audio is loud enough. Make sure that you are talking loudly, just so that by the time you start editing, even if you do not have to increase the volume in your editing software, people can still hear you. Yeah, your audio should be consistent, as it is the bed on which your visuals are placed. In other words, your audio can make or mar your video. Yeah, so you want to be very particular about your audio. Try to make sure that your surrounding is not as noisy when you are filming, especially when you can help it. But then if you can't help it, like I always say, make sure you apologize to your viewers and tell them that you couldn't control that sound, hence why you are filming with it. But if you can't control it, if there's a way that you can block out that sound, I suggest that you do that before filming any video content. Another thing that I would love to talk about is your music. During your editing process, that's post-production, remember, you have to add music to it. The music you use is very important. Now when you're making a video like this, like a sit down video like this, you have to make sure that your music is not too loud, because once it's too loud, you won't hear what I'm saying, right? So you have to make sure that your music is actually in the background, like very, very low. Another thing when it comes to the music that you use is that it has to suit the particular purpose. It has to suit the particular moment that you're using it for. And I hope you get me. For example, if you make a video and there's a part that you feel sad, the type of music you'd use is actually a very sad music. It's a very sad song that you have to use. Now you cannot, when you're feeling sad, you can't use a very, very joyous music. You get? So it has to suit the very purpose for which you are using that music for. If there is a part that you're just waking up, you know that you have to use a very peaceful song. If there is a part where you're about to go to bed, you know you have to use a very peaceful song also that can put you to bed. Do you get? As you know, you cannot use an upbeat sound or an upbeat music to show us that you're just waking up. It doesn't sit right. You can't use that. So you have to make sure that the music you use when you're waking up has to be peaceful, has to be very calm, has to be soothing. All of these little things, they really matter, so you want to make sure that you pay attention to them. The next tip that I have for you is your transitions. Now when it comes to transitions, these things are really cool. They are very interesting to use. They are amazing. They can switch up your video like in a split second. They can switch up your video, but I would advise and I would suggest that you do not use it, you do not overuse it. Now you can use them sparingly. You don't want to come here and use transitions at every bit and every of your video. No, it doesn't make any sense. Most of us love this feature because it gives our content another feel. Generally, where you can use these transitions are mostly and only when there is a change of scene, or probably there's a change of weather or a change of day or something. Even in situations like this, you still need to use just a few of them and not overuse them. Why I'm saying this is that so that you don't make your videos distracting and you don't irk or whatever your viewers. You can also use sounds to make transitions. Like for example, you can use swirls, you can use water droplets, you can use whooshes, you can use a whole lot of sounds that you can use to make a transition from one shot to another. Now this would also make your content feel very amazing and interesting for your viewer to watch. This can help create movement from one shot to another and also help to keep the pace of your video. So this is an example of what I just talked about. Something else that I would love to talk about is color correction. Now when it comes to editing and color correction, please, if you do not know anything about color correction as a beginner, especially as a beginner, because this is your first video, you definitely, or like 70%, you do not know anything about color correction. Now I stand corrected. If you do know, feel free to use it, but if you do not know anything, especially as a beginner, I would suggest that you stay off it because color correction is very, very tricky. Just make sure that while creating your video, you try your best to make it in the perfect condition. You try your best to create or make your video in a very perfect condition. Thereby, when you start editing, post-production, you do not have to do a whole lot of things to make your skin look good. You just need to make sure that, to the best of your ability, make sure that you record your video in perfect condition. Leave color correction to the pros until you actually get a hang of it, because color correction can actually ruin your whole video. Take it from me, they can actually ruin your video. So you want to be very careful when it comes to color correction. And as always, I have a bonus tip for you guys. So here, my bonus tip here is that I want you to not worry about making your first YouTube video perfect. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a perfect video. We learn on the go. Do you get? So you cannot make that video very perfect. You can't make that video squeaky clean. You can't make that video, do you get? Even the best of us still don't have perfect videos. There is this saying I heard somewhere, I can't really remember now. What it said was, done is better than perfect. So in other words, just do it, even though it's not perfect. Put it up, upload it, launch that video, do that thing. Even though it's not perfect, you would learn eventually. You would learn from your previous mistakes, you would learn from your previous edits that you can do this better, you can add this, you can remove this, and all of that. Don't spend hours upon hours on one particular video trying to make it perfect, trying to make it clean. There is no such thing. It will not happen. Whereas giving yourself a deadline and launching or uploading that video is way more important to me, in my opinion, than trying to make a video very perfect. Do what you can and then launch it. That's the most important thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean that you should just make anything and edit anything, do anyhow and then upload it. No, put in the work, put in the effort, try your very best, and then launch that video. There's something new with every video that you put out, and make corrections on the way, and before you know it, you get better and you improve in your video. In other words, learn with each video you put out and learn as you go. And with this, we have come to the end of this video. If you have more tips or any questions you would like to share or you would like to ask, please do so in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are yet to join the family, and I'll see you in one of my other videos. Bye.